For the New England Patriots, all the buzz has been around pick number 4. Who the heck are they going to take? Is Travis Hunter going to drop to them? Is somehow Abdul Carter going to drop to them? Will Campbell be drafted, even though apparently everyone's all upset about his arms not being long enough? But what we also need to talk about are the later rounds and some diamonds in the rough that we can find. Let's jump into it. My name is Aaron on the Daily Patriots content. Don't miss out. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, comment below. So jumping in first, I love this. This is one of the coolest things I've seen done by NBC Sports Boston. So basically what they did was they went out and they said, listen, we are going to do a crowd essentially picked simulated mock draft. And for each pick, what they did was they put 4 players out there and they said, all right, based on this, Twitter, X, whatever the heck you want to call it, who would you pick? Now you're probably saying, Aaron, this is stupid. Why the heck are we talking about this? First, 1, it's fun. 2, there's a couple players on here that I think diving deep in more into these players would be huge ads, and these are later round picks. So the first round we talked a lot about, and we won't spend a lot of time here, is Travis Hunter. Obviously, if Travis Hunter drops to the Patriots at number 4, that would be a no-brainer. Again, possible. They even put Abdul Carter on the list. Again, I don't think they think he's going to drop that far, nor do I. There's been times in this offseason that it was a possibility or it was, you were dreaming on it. But again, I don't think that will happen. I think more realistically, it's Travis Hunter. Even more realistically than that, it'd be Will Campbell. We move on to number 2. It would be Ursary, who is out of Minnesota, the offensive tackle. Again, we are led to believe that Mike Vrabel, this organization, believes there's multiple tackles in this draft class that are starting left tackle ready. So again, the Patriots, if they were to get Travis Hunter, most likely would get Ursary at this spot at number 38. If not Connerly, that's a name we've thrown out before, or also a possibility they try to trade up and get a Josh Simmons, which I would think would be a steal. Again, a lot of people believe that he could be the best offensive tackle in this draft if it wasn't for the fact that he hurt his knee, but that would be huge. Now, this is where we start talking about some depth players. So 3rd round pick, 69 overall, Tate Redledge, ironically enough, also number 69. Now look at that mane, that mullet. Oh my goodness. Now, we talked about this briefly yesterday when Mike Vrabel said, listen, our goal is to get some starters. Again, what are those positions where the Patriots need starters? We already know left tackle, kicker. Potentially, you could get an edge in there that could be rotational. And then as well, you look at left guard. Right side of the line, figured out. But when we talk about the other side of the line, we look at the left guard, left tackle. Tate Redledge played at the University of Georgia. Big time football in the SEC. The man is a behemoth at 6'7", 308, and he is a blue-collar kind of worker, a leader, and someone that would come in and help be a leader for this rebuilding organization. Again, when he was at the University of Georgia, one of his biggest claims is the fact that he was one of the best pass blocking guards in college football. Now, 6'7" for a guard is big. That is a big boy. Now, again, you put him next to, anyone else. Now, Ursary, I believe it said that he was 6'6". So even bigger, though, at 331 pounds. That would be a huge left side. And here's the big deal. Listen, we just want to protect Drake May. Let him throw the ball. Let's get a run game established and make it look a lot better. So, again, Ratledge, massive upgrade. I think even in the 3rd round, think he could come in and start. 3-year starter at the University of Georgia, and also adding that leadership mentality to this team. Now, again, you are going to look at teams in this draft where there's multiple players taken. Georgia is going to be one of those teams. Just like Alabama, just like this year, you're going to see a lot of University of Michigan as well. So I think Tate Redledge would be a big add in the 3rd round for the Patriots. The mock draft, the last mock draft I did, we got a ton of linemen, if you remember that, if you watch that. If not, you can go back and check it out. We got a ton of linemen. I believe we got Ratledge in the third round. I think it was the second pick in the third round for us, the one that we got from the Falcons. Again, I think this would be big. What is your take on Tate Ratledge? Yay or nay? Is there a different guard that you would prefer the Patriots take? And a lot of you are probably going to say, well, Aaron, Will Campbell is technically a guard based on his arm length. Again, the man played left tackle for 3 years at LSU, major college football in the SEC, and he held his own. There's a reason he's ranked where he is. There's a reason that people think he could get picked by the Patriots at number 4. That's all I'm going to say at that. Tate Ratledge, your take, yay or nay, comment below. As we continue down the chart, next one in the third round. Now, this is interesting in this chart. Now, granted, again, it's crowdsourced, but Kyle Williams is a wide receiver out of Washington State. He started his time off at UNLV for 2 years, then played 3 years for the Cougars in Washington State. Now, his big take is, and the reason that he is dropped into the third round is his route tree is not something to behold. When it comes down to it, there's a lot of refining in his routes that he needs to do. But his top end speed over the top of the defense is his vertical routes are unreal. So the ability, think of Kayshon Boutte on the outside, first touchdown pass by Drake May. Think of that as well with Kyle Williams. So I think there's a huge potential there for him to come in and give you look at the league, and there's a lot of, we've talked about this before, there's a lot of wide receivers who are coming in who have that top end speed, that are smaller guys that can take the roof off of the defense, that are coming. Let's see, Jamison Williams from the Lions, or you look at players like Devontae Smith. These players that they're not huge, but gosh, they can run a crazy good vertical route. Obviously, Smith won the Heisman. They're both great wide receivers, but this guy right here has that potential. Now, what's interesting is if they do get Travis Hunter early, who knows what they'll do at wide receiver moving forward throughout the draft. But again, I think this is a great pick. Now, they say here, quote 2, maybe you don't love this pick because you loved Pop Douglas. I love Pop Douglas. But I think Kyle Williams would give you a little more juice down the field. I don't disagree with that. Pop Douglas is a fast guy. He's more of a short to intermediate route. So we're talking mesh routes. We're talking screens. We're talking about whatever it might be kind of option in the passing game. I think Kyle is more than that. I agree. He's more of a big-time downfield vertical threat. Hands down, would be fun to see. Now, we look adding to that. Sorry, I messed up my tabs here. So adding to that, you just look at his stats at Washington, 70 receptions, almost 1,200 yards, 14 touchdowns, averaging 17, longest 66 yards, again, over the top the year before that, longest 63, 49, 75, over the top of the defense. His 40 time 4.4, I think he clocked something unofficially faster than that. But again, later in the draft, not a bad pickup. Now, he's not a player I believe the Patriots brought in for a top 30 visit, but that doesn't necessarily mean he wouldn't get drafted. So we will see moving forward. Thought that was interesting. As well, we jump into from that. So tell me what you think. Kyle Williams, yay or nay? I know there's probably going to be a lot of you that say, listen, I like Higgins from Iowa State. I like Noel from Iowa State. I like Royal from Utah State. There's a lot of other wide receivers out there. Again, I don't think this wide receiver class is as deep as years past, but I think that there is some diamonds in the rough in this class that can come in, that can be developed and turned into good NFL wide receivers. So comment below what you think, Kyle Williams, Tate Ratledge, or someone else. Comment below. As well, we jump into Mel Kiper, Field Yates coming in, dropping their prediction for the Patriots next week. So Will Campbell, no surprise there. What I do love at 38 is Kenneth Grant. Kenneth Grant is a great pickup at 38. A lot of people project him to actually go late first round. I've seen a lot of mock drafts have him actually going to the Detroit Lions, which will be interesting to see. But if he was to drop to 38, that would be a great pickup by the New England Patriots. Again, he's someone who could probably go in there and start, as well as be a great rotational piece. So would be a great move. At 69, they have Kyle Williams for the Patriots, or from Washington State, a guy we just talked about. And then we have another guard from West Virginia. So Again, not bad. I think I like Ratledge better than I like this guy from West Virginia. Again, Kyle Williams. When you talk about wide receiver, you can't just say, well, they need to just go get a wide receiver. What is the rhyme and reason behind drafting someone like a Kyle Williams? Again, he can take the top off the defense. Are there other guys? Again, Higgins is a McMillan. I hate to say poor man's McMillan, but that's what he's been billed as. Same size, just not as great a speed or route runner as McMillan is out of Arizona. So, comment below. Do you think this is realistic of Mel Kiper's and Field Yates draft? What would you change, or what do you think will be different, as well as the fan source draft? What do you think will be different as well? And man, I didn't exit out of it. Perfect. And I will tell you too, we can continue down this list real quick. Ashton Gillette out of Louisville, edge. That's actually would be a great pick in the 4th round. Again, I think edge, you will see someone drafted from the edge. Trevor Etienne, running back. Again, there needs to be another running back in this backfield for the Patriots. Would not be a bad pickup. The question is he going to be that kind of guy that Josh McDaniels likes throwing to out of the backfield? I think that's a huge possibility. You're familiar, obviously, with his brother Travis, who played at Clemson. We continue down, linebacker Stutzman out of Oklahoma. Heck yeah, let's roll. Anytime you have that cowboy collar, you're an absolute dog. Anyone who's played football knows that. Then you got a tight end, which is interesting. Again, Jaheim Bell was drafted last year out of Florida State. Does this offense, does Josh McDaniels, does Mike Vrabel want to go a different direction with that? We will see moving forward. Again, 7th round pick doesn't mean you're going to be actually necessarily making the team. And then Borgalis. I probably butchered that. When I did his video the one time where we talked kickers, I had it down pat. But again, I've told you Ben Sauls, but Borgalis, if they like him better, a lot of people have him as the best kicker. Then pull the trigger, go for him. So again, tell me what you guys think. Williams, Rutledge, Borgalis, whatever. Comment below. Hit that subscribe button. We'll talk later. Peace.